Clownery and Yamry. When a clown and a yam link up, one out of two things can happen. Murder or jail. Was that true?
That bad.
And the clown is the man who always give bun, but at the same time, he can't take bun. So I defined Yamry and Yamism before to you. Now I'm sure you want to know what the male counterpart is.
Really want to hear this.
It's called Clownery. Clownism. When them say I want clown, they're speaking to yam head behavior, but from a male perspective. When them speaking about Yamry, they're speaking about clown behavior, but from a female perspective. So Yamry and Clownery are just gender specific. So the clown is same attributes, but let me get a little bit more in detail. The clown thinks that money gets the woman. Keep in mind, money does get the woman, but the clown believes that money is the only thing that gets the woman. That's the difference. A real man knows you have to be a provider. You have to have money to be a provider. So that's what I mean when I said the money gets the woman. But it's not the only thing that gets the woman. The clown don't know that. The clown feels that things, assets, money are the only thing that gets a woman. The clown also wants everything from the woman, but he himself is not offering much. So he feels a level of entitlement. Most clowns, to be honest, are raised by single moms. Single moms specifically. It's not an attack, but that is the truth. Because they don't really understand how to be for another woman other than their mom. So you see a clown, they also tend to be very abusive if things come to the boiling point. So clown of the man goes to the fight over woman. Clown of the man goes to the backstone woman because they're on the next car with the next man. Clown a man like that.
Yeah.
Clowns also
real fragile egos.
Really fragile egos. You know say we as man have ego from man.
Yeah.
The clown have extra boost of ego. His ego is very illogical as well.
You're saying it was inflated by his single mom?
I'm not saying his ego was inflated by his single mom. But one thing for sure.
Remember, you know, they tend to be overbearing over their sons.
True.
Especially if it's
but but that's a mom feature in general. But the single moms kind of guard them more. Basically, every man who grew up under one single mom is spoiled.
We know that to be there to kind of balance out all of that. I think it kind of inflates your ego there, because remember, dad's there to knock you down one.
And at the end of the day,
and mommy's there to nurture you and just love on you, and that's all you're getting. You're not getting the other side of the parent.
Being raised by a single mom or a single dad, really and truly, you're only getting one perspective.
Basically.
So when you're being raised by a single mom, because of that we are talking about right now, you are automatically the man of the house. When you reach a certain age, you are the man of the house. So you're going to assume the role of man of the house without even knowing what it takes to be the man of the house.
Right, because you didn't see it.
Perfect ingredient to be a clown. Because the next thing with a clown too, the clown is very delusional. He believes the stuff that he shouldn't believe. And he disbelieves the stuff that he should believe.
So they can know some clowns real personally.
Yeah man, 1 second. But at this next thing, clownery. A clown is a man who cannot move on. Him feel say him own woman. So when you feel say you own the woman and the woman she has no say, everything what you say goes, that's not being a man. That's really and truly being a clown. Because at the end of the day, each person is their own being. So clownery and yammery, them kind of go hand in hand. But one thing you need to understand, clownery and yammery, when a clown and a yam link up, one out of two things can happen. Murder or jail. Was that true?
that bad.
And the clown is the man who always give bun, but at the same time, he can't take bun. The clown is also the man who is easily manipulated and used by the woman. And he never can realize that he's being used. So that is a clown. So that has been our lesson on clownery and clownism. All men were clowns at one point in their life. Whether they want to admit it or not, that is up to them and for them conscience.
And a little, not all single moms raise clones. So if you have a single mom, we're not calling you a clone, but you might be a clone.
Or you might be more prone to clownism according to the scientific theories. Oh, next thing. Not all women are yams, but all women were yams at one point.
Okay, so you don't have yammery is not lifelong.
It's not lifelong. It's like
there's a cure.
It's a short-term thing.
There's a cure.
There's a cure for yam. And the clone, no one can save the clone other than himself.
Wow.
Unlike yammery.
That's deep.
Other than yammery, you see yammery now. The yam head can be saved by someone else or their friends or someone like, because yam heads don't have much accountability. So you can't depend on them to save themselves. But the clones now, them not have that luxury. Them have to save themselves. Yeah. Because clones are just psycho. So the woman have to do something really extreme for him to say, you know what, frig you. Or she have to just left him. Enough time that happen.
Jackets do the trick.
Oh, man. Oh, next point. The clown them always take the jacket them. This has been On The Go podcast.